Hello and welcome to this pit stop for Alien Artifacts, designed by Marcin, Ropka and Viola Kijowska and published by Portal Games. In Alien Artifacts, 2 to 5 players are going to take around an hour and a half to attempt to develop the best galactic empire. They're going to do this by building ships and technologies and planets. Now, the first thing we have to do is they're going to have to invest some money into taking the top card from one of these decks and put it into their construction area. Now, if they spend 5 money, they can take the top card from the deck and put it over there. If they wish to spend more credits, they'll be able to get a choice and go through the top cards and choose one of those and put the rest on the bottom. Now, if they want to actually bring those cards into play over here into the constructed side, they're going to have to use resource cards, and that's what drives the whole game. Resource cards come two-sided, and you choose what side to use usually, and they correspond to different types of cards in the game, with gold being a wild resource. In order to build any of the cards you have on this side in your construction area, you must spend 5 in one go of the correct type. So in this case, if I had these 6 ship resources, I could bring this ship over and build it. Now, to start with, you can only ever spend 2 cards at a time in order to build a ship. If I had a ship in there and I didn't have all those 6 in one go, what I could do is add resource cards to my construction area. For example, if I added these 4 on there, and on a subsequent turn I could finish that building. But anyway, when you build, you've got 2 choices. You can bring cards across as logistics, which is going to give you an increased ability during the game and make you more powerful. For example, if I built this logistics extermination ship, my assembly limit for building ships is increased by 1. Now that means I could use 3 cards at a time instead of 2, making it slightly easier to build ships. And this expansion ship does exactly the same thing, but for when I want to do technologies, and there's types for planets, and there's also types for trade, because you generate money by, again, handing in the same resource cards. Again, it's an assembly limit of 2, and if I handed in those 6 ships rather than building ships, I could have taken 6 money for them, and that would put me in a position to buy more cards later on. Now, planets do something fairly similar when you build them on, again, the logistics side. This reduces the cost of developing technologies, and again, it's the same for all different types of cards or for making purchasing cheaper. Technologies are different though. When you build those, they have all different powers to them. So this one lets me, when I'm attacking, makes it more varied, my attack. That lets me score points during the game. I could gain money during the game for doing things. I might have an additional trade, that thing where you hand in resources for money. Or everyone starts their turn with 3 resource cards, which to power their actions. This one lets me start with 4. Now those are the logistic sides of the cards. The other sides are the operational sides. When I build a planet on the operational side, what it does is it lets me take resource cards, and if I match the type of planet, in this case it's an exploitation planet with the type of card I have, there we go, that's going to score me a point. And I can add these cards to my hand for subsequent actions, although I still have to obey the assembly limit, which may be affected again by the ships. You can see how all the cards start comboing with each other. When I flip over a technology, it gives me a chance for instant scoring and also scoring at the end of the game. In this case, when I flipped it and built it operationally, if I had at least 3 ships in play, and I do, I'd score a point, 5-2 and 8-3. And they all score for various things. Ships don't give you an immediate action when you ship them over and build them operationally, but what they do is give you access to another action. Now, in this case, if I spend 5 ship at any time, I can launch an attack, and I can use all my operational ships as I do it. And I can choose to attack other players looking to put blockade tokens on their cards, which will prevent them from using them unless they spend resources to clear them off. Or I can attack the current alien civilization, which is sitting right there, and these will cycle through a deck. And I'm going to draw a card from the top of the deck, and that will tell me my attack strength. It may be slightly modified, and if I get very successful, I can take an alien artifact card. Alien artifacts will give you all sorts of different reactions. For example, this fuser reactor is worth 6 gold at any point during the game when I choose to play it. This ultra projector device will add to my endgame scoring. Raw platinum gets me all the way up to 15 credits. This time looper at the end of the game will give me 3 additional turns, and the game will end when we've gone through the resource decks a number of times equal to the number of players. Once we've done that and we've finished the game, we're going to go and check our end game. Every card that you've managed to build halfway round is going to score you 1 point. These technologies operationally are going to score you those bonus points as mentioned earlier. And each player is going to have their own particular type of faction they're playing as. In this case, we are community. Now, community will give me 2 things. It will give me a setup, it will give me some cards to start with and give me some sort of direction. And during the game, it will give me a skill. In this case, I can spend 12 of any type of resource and that will get me those powerful alien artifact cards. And they all have different sit-ups and different skills, but they also have different end scoring. So the community is going to score me a point for each operational planet I've built and each exploitation card, because each of the cards have got one of the 4 different types of explore, expand, exploit or exterminate. And there are 6 different factions in the game. The Star Union likes you to build up ships, the Clone Clans likes technology, Bionics uses gold differently, and there's the Episcopacy and the League. This has been a Game Pit stop for Alien Artifacts. For more videos like this, check out the Game Pit channel on YouTube, and for more in-depth coverage of gaming, please find the Game Pit podcast.